name is Asif Qu. I'm a percussionist who specializes in Middle Eastern percussion. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to play two of the popular 8/4 rhythms from that region, from the Middle East region. The first one is called the Masmoudi, and the second one has a couple of names. It's either called Watakabira or Shiftatali. Okay? Watakabira means big one. The reason being because there's a rhythm also called the Wata, which means one. And so the Watakabira, Wata is a 4-count rhythm, Watakabira is an 8-count rhythm. Hence, it's the big one. Kabira means big. Okay? What do we mean by 8/4? So we'll leave the 4 aside just for the moment. And the 8 means that the rhythm lasts for a count of 8. Okay? For example, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on that 1, the rhythm would start again. Okay, so it lasts for that count. Although both rhythms are 8-count rhythms, they finish on 7. Okay, but we still have to wait for the 8 and to come back round and start it again. Okay, gives us a little bit of thinking time as well. For you guys that maybe have just come to this video and don't know anything about the darbuka or the hits that we're going to be using in this video, refer back to video number 1. And on that video, I show you how you can play the darbuka and also the basics of the duf as well, which I'm going to show you. So the first rhythm we'll do is the Masmoudi rhythm. Masmoudi, like I said, is an 8-count rhythm and has a few variations, and I'm going to show you the basics of those variations. There's a 3-doom, there's a 2-doom, and then there's a 5-doom. I may have gone like back to forward. You think, well, why don't you do the 2 first, and then the 3, and then the 5? This is because generally the Masmoudi is played with a 3-doom, but then there's different ways that you can play it with a 2-doom and a 5-doom as well. Okay, so the 3-doom. How does a 3-doom go? It will go. I'll do it with the count, and I'm going to use a word called essi. Essi means space, where a note is not played. So it just helps us to keep the timing of how the rhythm is going to be. So the 3-doom will go boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek, essi, boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek. Okay? So again, remember, it finishes on the tek, the rhythm, but we have to wait till the 8's done and then we start again. Played on the duf. Single-handed, one-handed duf, which is a deep shell duf. It'll go after 4. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes boom, boom, boom. Essi, boom, essi, tek, essi, boom, 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 essi, boom, essi. Use 2 different types of tek. Boom, boom, boom. Essi, boom, essi, tek, essi, boom. I'm going to use the other type of tek. Essi, boom, essi. Okay, so that's how you would play it on the duf, and this is what the duf player would always be playing. Just that on its own. Help to keep the other drummers in line with each other and in tempo, okay? So, on the darbuka, let's go for it after 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek, essi, boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek, and boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek, essi, boom, 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 essi, boom, essi, tek. The counts go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and and then that's where it would start again, okay? So now, in those gaps, in those SC gaps, drummers always like to fill. They hate waiting for the next note to be played, and as drummers, we always like to fill, okay? So in those SCs now, we're gonna fill using a tekka, which is just a, okay? So verbalizing, it will go doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 tekka, doom, tek. Now we're going to play it. Tekka, doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Two more. Doom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom. After the next one, tekka, we're going to bridge two on this and. So 1, 2, 3, tekka, doom, tekka, tekka, bridge. Boom, no bridge after this one. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And boom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, doom, boom, boom, no bridge. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. So we're going to bridge this one. Boom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek, take a bridge. Boom, no bridge. Two more sets and boom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, doom, boom, boom, tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And last set. Boom, boom, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka. Boom, 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 tekka, doom, tekka. Okay, so the next variation, as I said to you, a two doom. How does a two doom go? Well, this time we take out the third doom and substitute it in for a tekka. So verbalizing, yeah, 3, 4, it'll go doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Doom, no bridge yet, doom, tekka, doom, sorry, tekka, tek, no bridge, so two doom, 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 tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, and doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek. So let's play it. So doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, and doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek. The count goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom. Now we're going to bridge every two. And so doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, bridge, doom, no bridge, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, and again, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, bridge, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, no bridge, two more sets, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, tekka, tek, tekka, doom, doom, tekka, tekka, doom, no bridge. And last set. Doom, tekka, tek, no bridge, you finish on 7. So that was the 8, okay? So now we'll play the 5 doom, okay? So we have a 2 doom, we have a 3 doom, and now we're going to do the 5 doom. So how does the 5 doom go? Well, in between the first 3 notes, the dum, 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 there's also another note which is on the and. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3. And dum, 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 dum. Okay? So the whole rhythm will go dum, 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 dum. Dum, tek, and dum, 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 dum. Dum, tek. Okay? So we'll start off with an empty. We'll add in tekkas in the gaps, in the SC gaps, not the bridge just yet, and then we'll add in a bridge for every 2. Okay? So, after 4, 5 doom Masmoudi empty, then tekka fill, then tekka bridge. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4 goes doom, 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 doom. SC, doom, SC, tek, SC, doom, 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 doom. SC, doom, SC, tek, SC, doom, 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 doom. SC, doom, SC, tek, SC, doom, 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 doom. SC, doom, SC, tek. So feel those SCs at the beginning. Doom, tekka, doom, tekka, tek. No bridge. Doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. And doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Now bridge every 2. Doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Take a bridge. Doom, doom, no bridge. Tekka, tek. And now we're going to bridge after this one. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Take a bridge. Doom, 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 doom. Tekka, no bridge. And doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, bridge. Bridge, tekka. Doom, 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 doom. Tekka, no bridge. Last set and we'll finish. Tekka, doom, tekka, tek. Tekka, doom, 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 doom. Tekka, doom, finish. Okay, remember? We have to finish that 8. So we have the Masmoudi. 3 variations. A 3 doom, a 2 doom, and a 5 doom. Okay? Just a little word on tempo. When I mean tempo, speed, and when these beats are played. Together with other rhythm. We've learned in the previous videos like a 2-count rhythm, a 4-count rhythm. Yeah, so these are 8-count rhythms. Generally, if you're playing at this tempo, at this pace, you would play all the rhythms at this same pace, okay? For example, I'm going to start to play an Ayub. Yeah, I'll go into Maksoum. So Ayub 2-4. I'll go into a 4-4. And then I'll play the 8 rhythm exactly the same tempo. And this is a good way to practice, okay? So, for example, it'll go 1, 2, Ayub, 3, 4, goes. Wallahi, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after the next one, I'll go into the Maksoum, set of 4. Now after this set, I'll go to the 3 doom Masmoudi. Okay, so you can see that that tempo stayed the same throughout. That's generally what happens, okay? There are exceptions, and the exceptions are, depends on the melody that is being played while those rhythms are happening. For example, you might be playing with other instruments, and they're playing a melody as opposed to the percussion that we play. And then, therefore, then you have to follow the tempo of the melody. Also, depending on what type of dance that you're drumming for. So the dancer may, on the 8 count rhythms, want the rhythm to be played slower. But this is something you work out with the dancer, and he or she will tell you that actually when we get to an 8, or I've signaled you for an 8, which we'll come on to in terms of signals for changing rhythm between dancers and drummers, etc., etc. When I've signaled you, I want you to go slower, because sometimes the moves for dancers, Middle Eastern dancers, and also we call it global dancers, global dance dancers, they require the 8 moves are danced a lot slower. So therefore, we need to slow the rhythm down to follow how they go. Okay. So the next rhythm we're going to look at is the Watakabira. Watakabira means one big. Wata is one, Kabira is big, so it's a big one. It's the reason why we call it the big one is because there's also a rhythm, a 4 count rhythm called Wata. And obviously it's a 4 count rhythm. Watakabira is an 8 count rhythm, and so therefore becomes the big one. Okay? The Wata part of it is the first part of the Watakabira, which just goes dum, tek, tek. That's the Wata. And the Kabira, we add on a dum, dum, tek. Sometimes this rhythm is also called the shiftateli, but in this context, we're going to call it the Watakabira. Okay? So, how is it played? First of all, on the duf, it will be, I'll get my foot pedal going, so it'll go boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek. Okay, so that's how we would play it on the duf. On a deep shell duf, single-handed. Okay, on the darbuka. So how does it go? It will be after 4. We'll play the empty Watakabira with our dominant hand. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek. Okay? So that's a basic empty Watakabira. Okay? This is what the duf players will be playing, and we as darbuka players will be listening out for that, and then we can do all our fancy bits when you get to learn the fancy bits on top of that. Okay? Or we'll be playing these little variations, which I'm going to show you. Now we will put in a car fill, okay, just before each one of those texts at the beginning. So, verbalizing, I'll get my pedal going again, so it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, goes dum, tek, tek, that's the basic, dum, dum, tek, adding a car, dum, tek, tek, dum, dum, tek, and dum, tek, dum, dum, tek. Okay, and obviously there's a bridge that we put after the dum dum tek as a fill, as a bridge for bridging 2 rhythms together. So we will start off playing a empty. Then we'll add a car, no bridges, and then we'll start to bridge 2 rhythms together. Okay, so after 4, it will go 1, 2, empty, 3, 4. So dum, tek, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, tek. Add the car fill, so it'll go boom, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, boom, boom, tek. 2 more, boom, tek, boom, boom, tek, and boom, tek, boom, boom. At the bridges, boom, tek, boom, take a bridge, taka, boom, ka, take, boom, boom, no bridge. And boom, ka, take, boom, boom, take, ka, boom, ka, take, no bridge. And again, boom, ka, take, boom, boom, take a bridge, boom, ka, take, boom, boom, take, no bridge. Last set, ka, take, boom, boom, take a bridge, ka, take, boom, boom. Okay, so now we can juice it up a little bit, right? Give it a little bit of extra flavor by adding some notes in between the last dum dum tek. If you remember, we added, for a 5-dum Masmoudi, we added a dum in to those, in between those 3 notes. This time, in between the dum dum tek, firstly, we're going to add in a ka. So the rhythm will go dum ka tek, dum ka tek. So in order to practice that, what you can do, and then the other fill is going to be dum teka tek. Okay? So just as a quick practice, in order for you to get that in and get it into your muscle memory, we can just practice those little fills. So we'll do 4 of each. So we'll do 4 dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, and 4 times. And then after 4 times, we'll do dum teka tek, and dum teka tek. Okay, so a little exercise that you can be doing at home as well to build up that muscle memory. So after 4, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. So dum ka tek. Wait, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, and dum ka. Tekers now. Dum teka tek, and dum teka tek, and dum teka tek, and dum teka. Go back to the single ka, and dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, and dum ka. So back to the tekers. Dum teka tek, and dum teka tek, and dum teka tek, and dum teka tek. Okay? So there's a little practice you can do. Any rhythm, if you feel that you can't get a certain part of it, just practice that certain part. Okay? So adding it onto the Watakabira, we'll put both together. So initially we'll play the single ka, and then we'll add in a double ka. A teka. Okay? And then we won't add in the bridges just at the end, and then at some point I'll add in bridges. Okay? So it'll go dum ka tek, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, dum ka tek. The other one, oh sorry, I'll go over the other one afterwards. So just the single ka at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So dum ka tek, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, dum ka tek, and dum ka tek, bridge 2 together. Dum ka tek, dum ka tek, taka, dum ka tek, dum ka tek. No bridge. Dum ka tek, dum ka tek, taka, dum ka tek, dum ka tek. 2 more sets. Dum ka tek, dum ka tek, taka, dum ka tek, dum ka tek. Last set finished. Dum ka tek, dum ka tek, taka, dum ka tek. Okay, so now we'll switch it. we're going to play the tekka in between the dum dum tek. So it'll go dum ka tek, dum teka tek, and dum ka tek, dum teka tek. Yeah, and then obviously on the 8, we'll add in a bridge at some point. Okay, so after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So dum ka tek, dum teka tek, and dum ka tek, dum teka tek, and dum ka tek, dum teka tek, and now we're going to bridge every 2. Boom, ka tek, boom, teka, tek, boom, ka tek, boom, teka, boom, ka tek, boom, teka, boom, ka tek, no bridge. 2 more sets. Boom, ka tek, play one more. Boom, ka tek, boom, okay, so those are the 2 popular 8/4 count rhythms that are played in the Middle East. Okay, there are a numerous amount of variations that we can look at into playing these rhythms in between the notes, on the notes, etc., but we'll look at those in a later video. I hope you enjoyed that and join me again.